So the All-Star rosters are going to be announced tomorrow. Now, the Score on their website have done some predicting, and right away it exposes a problem. Okay, let's remember this is a 3-on-3 tournament. The forwards for the Metro Division, and Metro Division is just a dream this year. Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Wayne Simmons, Jeff Skinner, Taylor Hall, John Tavares. Great, right? Blue line, Ryan McDonagh, Zach Werenski, Justin Schultz. And in net, Sergei Bobrovsky, Braden Holtby. On call, so just missing the cut, Evgeny Malkin, Cam Atkinson, Jakub Voracek. Now wait. There's a problem. You have to have a member of every team. You have to have a member of every team. So their explanation is Malkin and Atkinson absolutely deserve to be there. It's wrong they're not, but in squeezing a representative from each team, we had to prioritize ensuring each player genuinely warrants selection, but they're deserving in the context of their own locker room, and the player's skills would translate to 3-on-3. So that's where we're at. So right on the first division, there's a problem. Now let's go to the Atlantic and their projections here. I don't have a problem with their picks. Nikita Kucherov, Austin Matthews, Max Pacioretty, Henrik Zetterberg, Brad Marchand, Alex Barkov up front. On the blue line, Erik Karlsson, Victor Hedman, Rasmus Ristolainen, and in net, Carey Price and Tuukka Rask. On call, Shea Weber, David Pastrnak, and Alex Radulov. And then they say if Barkov can't represent Florida, Jonathan Marchessault steps in. I've never liked that rule, that all teams have to be represented. And I remember having a problem with it when there was 21 teams in the league. As a Canuck fan, I remember seeing Canucks go to the All-Star game and seeing them out on the ice with guys like Gretzky and Messier and Coffey and thinking, they don't belong here. And that is a feeling that isn't as prevalent right now, but there are players who are going to miss who shouldn't. Okay, now the Central. So we're heading west now. For the Central, Vlad Tarasenko, Patrick Kane, Artemi Panarin, Patrick Laine, Tyler Seguin, Nathan MacKinnon. On the blue line, PK Subban, Duncan Keith, Dustin Byfuglien. In net, Devan Dubnyk, Corey Crawford. On call, Mark Scheifele, Eric Staal, Kevin Shattenkirk. Notice Ryan Suter's not on that All-Star team. He's not even on call. I watched the Minnesota LA game last night. Ryan Suter belongs in the All-Star game. You know what else? Eric Staal belongs in the All-Star game. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. The Pacific Division. Connor McDavid, Jeff Carter, Joe Pavelski, Brian Kessler, Johnny Gaudreau, and Bo Horvat. On the blue line, Brent Burns, Drew Doughty, Cam Fowler, and in net, Cam Talbot and Mike Smith of the Arizona Coyotes. Mike Smith makes the All-Star team. Our goalies do not. On call, Rickard Rakell, Leon Draisaitl, Dougie Hamilton. So yeah, Ekman Larsson doesn't make the team. So this is why I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the All-Star game. This has been my problem with the NHL All-Star game for decades. Every team has to be represented. Why? What for? Ridiculous. It's like for a couple years there they had the veteran representative. What was that for? That was to get Mark Messier into the All-Star game. It wasn't for anything else. It was to get Mark Messier into the All-Star game. So the only way to do that was to add a veteran category, legends category, whatever you want to call it. It was ridiculous. And now, here we are, more than 20 years later, and there's more ridiculousness going on. Now it's a 3-on-3 format, which is almost watchable. Almost. But there's guys who are going to be in this All-Star game that are good players who are keeping great players out. And I don't know how you fix it. If you go back far enough in All-Star game lore, the way that the All-Star game used to be played was the NHL would put together a team of All-Stars to face the defending Stanley Cup champions. Now I want you to think about that for a second. That would mean the Pittsburgh Penguins host the All-Star game. The Pittsburgh Penguins, with Crosby, Malkin, Kessel, and the boys, go up against a team of All-Stars. So basically, all 29 of the rest of the teams in the league put together a team to try to beat Pittsburgh. I think the game would be lower scoring. I think there'd be more hits, more than none. And I honestly think there'd be a competition level there. Because if you're Pittsburgh, what kind of bragging rights do you have if you beat the entire NHL? I know it's not as feasible now as it would have been in the original 6 league, but I think it would be fun. They've tried North America versus the world. They've tried conference matchups. They've tried drafting all-star teams. Famously or infamously, Phil Kessel being picked last because nobody likes Phil Kessel. And you know, it's all failed, and it's all failed because the NHL setup for the All-Star game fails from the outset in that the best players aren't the ones that are necessarily there. I love Bo Horvat. Does Bo Horvat belong in an All-Star game ahead of Evgeny Malkin? Absolutely not. There's no way in hell he belongs in an All-Star game ahead of Evgeny Malkin. He doesn't belong on the ice ahead of Evgeny Malkin. And I love Horvat. He's my favorite player. But there's no way. So I'll be interested to know what you guys think about this, because it means that the All-Star game for the most part is high scoring, no hit, doesn't really look like hockey. Isn't a whole lot of fun to watch a lot of the time. That's forgettable. I did the John Scott video last week. How many people remember anything about the All-Star game last year other than John Scott? Keep in mind the NHL wanted to keep John Scott out and change the rules this year so you can't get another John Scott in there. Meanwhile, because of the way the rules are set up, you could have Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Gary Suter, and Evgeny Malkin not going to the All-Star game. How the hell does that happen? And you have 30 teams. All 30 teams have to be represented at the All-Star game. They shouldn't. The All-Star game should be the best players go. And if 5 guys wear the Oilers jersey, 5 guys wear the Oilers jersey. You got 4 Montreal Canadiens, you got 4 Montreal Canadiens. If you don't have a single member of whoever, Panthers, Lightning, doesn't matter. Whoever, doesn't matter. And people are like, Panthers, Lightning. No, I'm just using that as just an example. If your team doesn't have a player who is playing at All-Star caliber, why have them at the All-Star game? It's one of those things that bugs me in the NHL, and I don't understand why they can't get it right. And I honestly sometimes wonder if just having a 3-day break and just get rid of the All-Star game and just find some other way of doing it. Baseball's All-Star game is probably the closest to competitive, and yet they've changed their CBA so that it no longer decides who's going to have home field advantage in the World Series because it's stupid. It's a dumb way to decide home field advantage, but they wanted to have something to play for. The NFL kind of has it right with the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl takes place in between your championships and your Super Bowl. Or no, it happens right after the Super Bowl. Either way, it is made up of players whose season is over. It's in Hawaii. It's a bright game. And they understand that it's fun. And it's not during the season. And I actually have enjoyed some Pro Bowls. So I'm not sure how hockey fixes this. And basketball. Basketball, I think the thing where basketball's got it over the NHL is basketball's basically a highlight reel. Basketball from start to finish is a highlight reel. And I don't enjoy basketball a lot myself, but you're going to see in any 3 or 4 minutes of play, you're going to see at least one or two highlight reel moments. You won't necessarily see that watching a hockey game. And All-Star games, you don't necessarily see the best goals, you just see a lot of them. Because goalies don't make the same amount of effort. You can't tell me they do. Players don't play tough. There's no massive body checks going on out there. Everybody just wants to get through the game and not get hurt. There's no competition to it. And it's not hockey. And now they're doing the 3-on-3 tournament. It's like they're going, it's not hockey. Well, then wipe out the rule that makes you bring all 30 teams to the All-Star game. Just take it right out of there. Because what happens is you then have, there's a limited number of players that make it. So you've got 6, you got 18 forwards, 9 defensemen, so that's 27, and 6 goaltenders, so 33. No, wrong. There's 4 divisions, Shannon, 4 divisions. So 24, 36, plus 8, so 44 players. So you got 30 teams. Next year it'll be 31. Next year, a member of the Vegas Golden Knights will go to the All-Star game. And as a result, you could see, well, let's say it's a forward. Well, you have to take out either McDavid, Carter, Pavelski, Kessler, Gaudreau, or Horvat. That's brutal. Brutal. And Draisaitl still doesn't get to go. Like, I just, I feel for these guys. I do. And I know there's a lot of players who'd skip the All-Star game. That's been all the rage, actually. Let's just skip it. The NHL's toyed with the idea of suspending guys who skip the All-Star game. It's like, yeah, if the guy's looking for a break, telling him he gets an extra game at the end of it to have a break, probably not going to make him feel like going to the All-Star game. So saying you're suspended for a game after the All-Star game, okay. That sucks. So I'm tired and I'm sore, and you're telling me I get a whole week off and not just the weekend? Geez, you guys drive a really hard bargain. I don't understand it. But when you've got to kind of hold a sword over top of the heads of your players in order to make them play in an All-Star game, there may be a problem with your All-Star game. I love the skills competition. I do. I love the skills competition. I still remember Ray Bourque going 4 for 4 in the targets, which was just amazing. I remember Al McInnes' slap shot. I remember Chars a few years back. Like, there are moments I remember from the skills competition, but the game itself, I don't care at all. I don't care. And there's something wrong with that. So let me know in the comments below what you're Gary Bettman tomorrow, and you can go to the owners and say, I can fix the All-Star game. How do you fix it? And you have to fix it in 2 ways. Players have to want to go and go, that's a really good idea. We're going to want to go. And fans are going to want to watch it, and it's going to be good hockey. So those are the challenges, and it's not that easy. I can sit here and wax philosophical all night about it, but fixing the All-Star game is not an easy task. That's why I'm wearing Calgary and Edmonton, because it's just baffling to me. Baffling. And I'm a guy who's tried to match my hats and jerseys, but today I went, nah, I can't match this. I can't make this make sense. So anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're just passing through. And pretty stoked right now for the trade deadline. Not for the All-Star game. And the trade deadline is still about 7 weeks away. But come on, trade deadline. Have something happen. Although Stevie Yzerman has been quoted as saying this is the toughest trade environment he's had to work in. Like, just nobody's trading anything. And again, this is for you guys who are saying parity's good. Parity does this. It means there are 28 buyers and 2 sellers right now. There's 28 teams looking to buy and 2 looking to sell because there's 28 teams at or really close to 500. So all of them feel they have a chance. None of them are sellers. This could be the most boring trade deadline we've ever seen. You can let me know in the comments how you feel about that as well. But All-Star is what this video is kind of about, mostly about, almost all about. So let me know with that too. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all again soon.